the way he portrays his women on screen, I think nobody else is able to do that. And he's just got a very different vision for it. He really takes good care of how all his female characters are portrayed on screen. And that is something that I really, really appreciate about him. Especially for me, like I've grown throughout my profession, I've learned through experience. I started off completely from scratch. I had no experience of being on a film set. I used to not visit my dad's sets when I was a child. I had no training, whether it was acting or dancing or anything of the sort. I was not groomed for it. I was literally thrown into the deep end of the pool and said, okay, now swim. And that's how I learned. I started off with these really commercial masala, so to speak, films where it was always about the hero, the hero, the hero. Writing has changed over the years. There are a lot more roles that portray women in a very strong light than before, I feel. I think that has changed. Of course, our consumption of content has changed in the last few years, actually, very, very recently. And yeah, I think change is inevitable, right? And we all have to learn how to adapt to that change as actors, as writers, as creators, everyone. So I think we're all doing pretty well so far. And I hope we continue to, because change is always going to happen. To be a part of something like this, to make something like this does require a lot of patience. And I've always been the kind of actor who's been on the ball. Like I switch from one thing to the other very quickly. I know my job, I go to set, I do it well. Over here, you have to mold yourself along with what is being created in front of you. It's a process of complete surrender. And if you are not able to do that, you cannot be a part of something like this. So I think I walked away as a much stronger actor after Heeramandi, yes. And I think all I would say is go for it. A lot of women have been conditioned and, sort of been trained to doubt themselves for a very, very long time, and they just need that one push where somebody tells them, you know what, go for it, I'm behind you, I will back you, and you have nothing to worry about. I think that first step is very, very important. So for me as a girl also, I would just encourage every other woman who wants to do whatever it is in life that she wants to do, to just go for it. And I really do hope that we do get to see more women in our workplaces when, because it's just like I've done 2 projects now with which were helmed by female directors. One was Khandani Shafakhana and one is Dahad. And I kid you not, those have been one of the best experiences of my life, of my career, and it's just such a smoother set when it's run by a woman. So I would really encourage more women to get into it.
Leave us with
this is a funny story. So Sanjay sir and me, like I said, we were trying to collaborate on stuff even before Heeramandi. He did produce a film of mine which was called Rowdy Rathod, very, very long back. And ever since then, and he's been very, very fond of me. Like every time I meet him, he's always like so encouraging, he's always praising me, and sometimes it's like, I don't know where to look. Like I'm like, oh my God, is this happening? But he's been very, very fond of me, and so we tried and didn't work out. He went ahead, he did his stuff, I was doing my work. But we were always in touch over the period of years. So every time I went to his office, I would sit with him, we would chat over a cup of coffee, and I would leave and cut to, he started his project, I'm doing something else, he's doing something else. So I got a call for Heeramandi, Sanjay sir wants to meet you. So I said, okay, great, I'll be there. I live very close to his office. I landed up, I sat with him. He sat down. He came into the room, I sat down, and I was chilling there with, Prerna was there. And we were talking, and then he came. I said, sir, every time you call me to your office, you give me coffee and I leave. This time, I'm not having coffee with you, I'm going to have tea.
Change the narrative.
Yeah. I've had tea with him. We've had the same sort of conversation we always used to have. I've gone home and I'm in Heeramandi. So tea is the answer, guys, not coffee.